so yeah, again, the little bubbles is just the lava going over the ice. It's turning to steam, and then that steam kind of comes up and out. All right. And so then this here, this is something that we would call Pele's hair, which are these very thin, long filaments of lava. These get formed in nature when lava has gone off of an edge and then picked up by the wind. So it gets blown into these very thin strands here. They are named after the Hawaiian goddess of volcanoes, which is Pele. However, in Icelandic, these would instead be called witches' hairs or Nordnahau. As you can see, they do cool off very, very quickly. They go from orange to black in just a matter of seconds. Because of how thin they are, that does make them incredibly fragile and therefore difficult to actually find outside in nature. Just because when they're forming around an erupting volcano, something this small gets smashed to pieces immediately. All right, so here I do have just another little block of ice here. So I'm gonna put that on there. I'm then just gonna add a little bit of pressure on top of it as well. All right, so you can see, there he goes. All right, so see how it kind of inflates up. Now we have a nice little bubble there. You can see it kind of inflating back here. And there he goes. All right, so what is happening with these bubbles now is that if you do notice at the surface of the lava has already started to become solid. It's not moving anymore. That part solidifies quickly. And so now when I put that other block of ice on, the steam is trying to escape up and out, but this time it gets trapped. That steam just instead inflates the lava up, just like it would a balloon, and then it kind of looks like it's breathing a little bit as well. Now, lava is an incredibly, incredibly good insulator of heat, and it actually creates its own insulation. And so here, if I show you, so I'm just going to poke it with my stick here, you can see as I poke the surface of the lava, I'm not breaking through anymore. It's definitely not liquid at the surface. But if I just maybe come over here and flip this up and over,
whoa,
definitely still liquid under there. And that's because of how it's insulating its heat. And it's actually, even though it's solid at the top, it's even so runny underneath that I can even still make hairs with it. But then as soon as I expose it up and out of its insulation that it's created for itself, it's gonna start to solidify. You can see it's gonna start to turn black. See, as I turn it, it's not moving as much as it is then just going to become a solid. And so how it's insulating its own heat is going to allow me to get underneath even the skinny portion back here. So I'm just gonna get underneath and I'm just gonna slowly begin to lift it up. Notice where I have this stick, it does have this bend to it. So you can see a lot is pouring out of there. So where I have this stick, you can see it bends, and it's just because it's just the outside of the lava that's solid. Since the inside is still liquid, I even have this little bit kind of pulling out from underneath. Since the inside is still liquid, that's what allows me to manipulate it. I can still bend it, but then when I've released it, it is still going to hold its shape as the whole thing is then going to begin to solidify. Now if I come back down here to the part that I flipped, again, you can see already it's become solid at this surface part. And then just dig right barely underneath it. I can pull it up. But if you notice, since I took it out of its insulation, it's definitely a lot more sticky. It's more solid. I have a bit of a harder time kind of pulling it, but then you can watch it lose that color right before your eyes, as then the whole thing just kind of is going to begin to fade to black, especially in these really thin parts that I have pulled up. And then there, pulls right off, and even this part at the end of my stick, see how it doesn't move anymore as I turn it? This part is now solid, and it's going to cool into this shape. So I'm going to get the lights just a little bit up here in the front. There we go. All right, so how the lava is insulating itself like this. This is going to be the exact process in nature